Hello everybody, I am GTruth84 and this is a Minecraft tutorial, my first one ever on how to build a mud farm. Now, a brief introduction, this is all stuff you can probably skip ahead, is that I have been looking for different mud farm contraptions for a while, since the game introduced mud. It was a while back, can't remember when. And you just couldn't find any that was good for bedrock. They usually utilize the offhand mechanic from Java, or they would rely on TNT duping to blow the mud up and stuff like that, which is just too complicated. It's too complicated for just having something simple in your game that gives you an adequate amount of mud to make your blocks. And I came up with this design myself. I think that I didn't take any inspiration from anyone, from what I can remember. Maybe I subconsciously did. I'm not 100% sure. But anyhow, this is the tutorial. These are the blocks that you are going to be using. There's a full list coming up shortly. These are the blocks that you will be getting from this farm. Obviously, you're going to need wheat to make the dried version of the mud, but you will be getting God, that's an awfully long blink, the mud for sure. The farm is behind me here. It is an expensive farm. It does use a lot of hoppers. It uses a lot of glass, but it will give you, let me just switch into creative here. It will give you a lot of mud very, very quickly. It is as quick as a button press. So we will go over the basic mechanics now of the farm itself. What will happen is the player will put dried dirt, not dried dirt, just dirt, dirt in this section here. Press a pick block or whatever your pick block button is to bring your mud to your hotbar. That's why that block's there. And then you just run backwards, placing it down. And then all you have to do is go up into this little area here so you're out of the way and don't collect any bottles, and then push the button. And what will it do is all the dispensers that have a water bottle inside it at the time will dispense either an empty water bottle or a full water bottle. Now, there you go, it presses it. Then what you do is you just go along with the shovel, like that, running forward, shoveling all your mud. It will collect in the hoppers underneath, and it will collect into the chest below. Obviously, it's not going into the chest just now because I destroyed the block because I'm in creative. So, each dispenser will have this filling up with bottles after every press that you do. As soon as a slot gets taken, another one, or emptied, another one will go in its place. And what will happen is that the empty ones will drop out of the dispenser underneath if there's a block in front of it. If there isn't a block in front of it, it will drop into these hoppers here. You don't want that. You always want to have a full row before you activate your thing. And what will happen is the empty bottles will come through here. They'll go into this double chest here, and they'll go into this little bit of easy redstone, which will fill this dispenser. And what will happen with this dispenser is that it will detect it's got an empty bottle, it will activate and fill the water bottle with the source block of water down there. And then what it does with full bottles of water is it dispenses them out. It'll get carried up into the water dispenser, into the hopper, and then back round again for another loop. And this just is refillable. It does lower, the rates do kind of become a bit random once you've got a fair few empty bottles in your dispenser, because it is a random generation. You might end up having 9 empty bottles in one water bottle, and so it might take a couple of punches of the button to get a full row. This farm is extendable. You can extend it, but it is an expensive farm. You can see there, it's taken a few. There you go. That was more so in the head. That's rare for that to happen, taking that long. Sometimes you'll be happy with just one or two being there, and you'll just go over and dig it up and then lay it again later on. It's not a big deal. You're still getting your mud. You can see here the redstones there is collecting all the bottles, filling it up, and then putting it back in, and that's it. I have never run out of bottles while being collecting the mud, especially when this is 16 blocks. It can be extended to 32 blocks. It can be extended to 64 blocks. You can make it as long as you want it, just as long as the redstone is in a chunk that's loaded at that point. When you need to extend it longer than this much, the redstone will need to be extended with a... Oh, I can't remember the name of it now. It's in here. Come on now. Redstone repeater. That's it. It will need to be extended with a repeater. And when you need to do that, all you need to do is... that. And that will extend it as to another full length of power, which I think is 14 or 15. I can't remember. Because... don't worry about the dispenser underneath, because that will be getting powered because by the other dispenser beside it. If the dispenser beside it is powered, that one will power, but the next one along will need its own separate power source. So that's that. These are the items here that you're going to need. So walls and slabs, they're optional. I'll just put them to the side there. The ice is just a water source. You can either use ice or you can use buckets, sorry, not bottles. And this is the list of what I think is needed for a 16 dispenser mud farm. Obviously, if you're wanting to make it a 32 block dispenser or a 64 block dispenser, it becomes considerably more expensive. Your hoppers especially will go up significantly. And also your glass bottles. Glass bottles goes up quite a lot as well. That's the amount that I think is necessary to fill 16 dispensers and 2 double chests and a couple of hoppers after that as well. And that's that. So we will go into the building of this right now. 3 blocks up like so. Then the next one that you'll be standing on. Double chest here. That double chest will be getting fed into by a hopper here. Now I'm on bedrock, so I have to crouch down every time I place a hopper. There you go. And then from that, that's your 16th hopper. Yeah, that's your 16th hopper, so you're going to want to go another 15 back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then you're going to want to build... some blocks around it, like so. I'm not going to count the amount of blocks that you have to use. Then you're going to want to place your first dispenser there, and then put your dispensers all the way along. It should be 16. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Excellent. Now, it's kind of optional when you do things and how you want to build it. But I'd probably just get the redstone out of the way just now. So I'd go all the way along. Now, like I said before, the amounts of the redstone will change depending on how big you make it, so you will have to add in your repeaters at certain points depending. I'm not going to count that out for you because I'm only making a small one, but that's for you. You just have a wee fiddle about with it and see where you need to put it. So then behind the dispensers, let's not make that mistake, that'll break your farm. It needs to be a dispenser. We're going to do another row of 16 hoppers. Like so. And then what you're going to want to do is you need to get the bottles of water to travel all the way along to reach the last dispenser. So you're going to need another row of hoppers going along, facing into each other this way. 16. To power those, you're going to need a button, which will be placed just here once I get it. Oh, goodness me, I just pressed it. There we go. Now that will power all your droppers, or it should power all your droppers from what I can see. Let's have a wee test of that. Put a bit of redstone in there. Yep, came out. That's fine. So we're going to go and build the little catchment area for you when you're running backwards, because you do this, you're placing your dirt and then you fall off each time. So we need to kind of put you in an area where you're not going to collect the bottles if you stand too close, and you're not going to fall off if you're too far away. So we're just going to build a little catchment area here. Right, so I've just cut out a little bit of the video there just because I made a mistake, and I don't want you building something there to then delete it, because that is infuriating. So put a wee slab here, and then put a wee catchment area for your character here. It's just blocks, there's no redstone or anything, so don't worry about that. And then we will put a piece of glass there. Let me just pick that. Put a piece of glass there, there we go. And then a little bit of dirt there, so you can pick block that and then fill it up like so. There we go. Right, so that is almost all the hoppers used. Okay, we're going to start there with the chest at the bottom of the farm to collect the empties. Like a good punter at a bar, you're going to collect your empties. And that will collect all the empty ones that drop out and then feed it into the chest, which we are now going to build the water bottle maker. Let's say that. Let's call it that. Why not? Dispenser. Yeah, perfect. One to the side of your chest at the bottom here. Now what's going to happen is we're just going to duck down here and put a hopper into that dispenser, and then another hopper into that from the double chest, and that will collect from that double chest there. So this is where your water will come out. Your water will be, and then you're going to have glass going all the way up to the top. But here you're going to have a comparator to read what's in that dispenser. Then you're going to have a sticky piston, which will activate whenever the comparator detects the dispenser. I just clicked the button here by accident, don't worry about that. We're going to have a observer here and an observer here. Now that's not going to be the original or the end position of the observer. I've just put it there because it's easier, because it shows that the dispenser is working. There we go. See how that dispenser pooped it out immediately when it detected it was inside it? There you go. And that is what you're wanting your redstone to look like. Here's an above look. Okay. So now we're just needing to make the water tunnel or water tube up to the top to then go into our chests, and then that's that. Let's get a chest. I'll do the chest first because it'll be easier to know where we're going first. So we'll do a double chest here, then a hopper going into that, and then on top of that another double chest. Two chests usually do me fine. If you feel like you want to have loads, or you're making your thing really long or whatever, then you can put on another chest if you like. But do keep in mind that you are going to have to raise your water levels, your water tube, and that will be affected. And then I'm going to put a hopper back here onto the top chest, like so, to collect the water bottles when they get dispensed. We'll do this to make the... Oh. Well, I've just done that wrong, haven't I? There we go. We'll just do that to make the water collection area, because it'll flow down to that hopper. And then you just go up with your glass. I don't know how many places it'll be. It will change depending on how many chests you use, but if you've followed this so far, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then on the 7th, on the 8th, you stop, and that will be where your water level is. Just go along like this. Let's go along like that. And then, not forgetting the top of the dispenser. Get rid of that. And then fill that up. There we go. Now, if I was in survival, I would be using ice right now because it's easier, but I'm not. So I'm going to use that bucket that I put in there, and I'm going to fill this up with water. And then making sure to fill this one here so the water flows over the hopper. Now for that, you're also going to want to put blocks over the top so the water bottles don't float out and land on the sides here, and it makes it quicker for them to pick up so they're not floating away too much or anything like that. Clear that away if you don't want any unnecessary blocks. And I think that's it. That just sounds confident, doesn't it? So let's go fill that up with some glass bottles. And when you're filling it up, put it here in the bottom chest, because what will happen is that, there we go, it collects it. The dispenser dispenses the empty bottles. It's filling the bottles with water, and then shooting them into the hopper at the top. It will go through the chests and into each hopper. Now, if I get rid of this, you'll see here, we've got full bottles. And it'll be like that for a while. It's just going to fill up, and it's going to fill up all the way along. So once that's done, we'll come back and we'll see the fruits of our labour. Okay, folks, here we are. I have waited for the water bottles to fill, and if you had followed the exact amounts of the glass bottles, you would have this many extra. Now, I'm not 100% sure if that's because the dispensers have been run once before. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't, I can't remember. Maybe it was on the other one. Doesn't matter. But you will have this much extra, so be sure to go and collect it. And you can usually keep it in a spare chest just in case you feel like you need to top it up a bit more. But anyhow, let's just run this. There you go. The first one's always perfect. And then we're going to break that up. I've got to be careful here because I could break it in regular mode like that, like so. There we go. Then we pick block because you'll have mud in your inventory. You'll have a bunch of stacks that you want to change. You move back. Now, the optional stuff here that I will show you is that I can't see the button from here unless I go here. So what I do is I just get a wee wall that stops me from falling off. Place it here and here, but it gives you a better angle. You just do that again. There we go. Break, 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 break. Fill up. There we are. And it's doing its thing. Press it again. Now, empty ones will have fallen down there. Wonder if I can show you that from this angle. Make it a bit easier. So what will happen is full ones also fall out if there's already a block, a mud block there. So you'll see them fall out. Oh no, you won't. And the reason why is because as soon as it goes into this block, that hopper picks it up. So you might see it for like a tiny split second, but they are going into that hopper. Yeah, there you go. You just saw a wee glimpse there. I'll try to slow that down and show you. That was them going into the hoppers to then get collected up again. Yeah, so there you go. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this one. That's my first one, so it is going to be a bit ropey. But like I said, you see a bunch of tutorials everywhere, but then there's that one tutorial that you just can't find anywhere, and it just drove me mad, and so I decided to make one. So if you like what you see, it's going to be farms that are simple. They may be expensive, but they're not going to be overly complicated. They're going to, if you have them in your world, they'll get the job done for you. And you'll be able to go around playing Minecraft like you want to, and not feel like you have to make incredibly fantastic, massive redstone machines to get certain things. It's just farms that help you enjoy Minecraft better. Super simple. And if you like that, give the video a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. I do other videos as well. They are more variety stream stuff, but I will have a separate playlist for my tutorials. I've been GTruth84, and thank you very much, and I will see you in a bit.